so we cannot be accused as landlords, for not having a tenancy agreement with the tenant. So since we are not in the quality of landlords, so on that basis you cannot accuse us of anything, since we do not have any tenancy agreement with the defendant. If even Kela is of the opinion that there is no tenancy agreement between the parties, so we stick to that.
Actually,
yes, I will say.
Kelly is in agreement.
I'll just note this here for my records. And even though we don't have any tenancy agreement, he still needs to compensate for his illegal stay in our premises. Sorry for their stay in their illegal premises.
Niin, puheenjohtaja. Eli Kela tätä asiaa tarkastellessaan lopulta on tutustunut tähän asiaan, kun on ollut näistä sähkölaskuista kyse. Ja tutustuttuaan asiaan, niin Kelakin on todennut sen, että vuokrasopimus on jatkunut ja syntynyt, ja nykyään Kela maksaa siis tämän sähkösopimuksen sen takia, että he arvioi, että vuokrasopimus on voimassa. Ei sitä niin kuin vuokran maksun rahaa saadakseen on oltava se vuokrasopimus, koska Kelahan joskus maksaa nämä myös suoraan vuokranantajille, mutta että niin kuin kantajat sanoo, että Kelakaan ei hyväksy sitä, niin Kela todella on arvioinut tilanteen ja todennut, että on vuokrasopimus, niin kuin, että hänellä on tämä vuokrasuhde ja sen takia maksaa tämän sähkölaskun. Onko tätä, olisiko tällaiseen johonkin pieneen niin asiaesittelyyn meidän puolelta tarvetta?
Niin, me ollaan valmistelussa vasta, mutta kyllä, ja mun mielestä sillä lailla kaikki on, meillä on nyt kaikki vapaus keskustella tästä asiasta, koska tämä on niin vähän jännillä urilla ja edelleen
the situation is still a bit
jos
unclear.
tahtoa löytyy, niin
If there is any willpower, so it might be possible to find an agreement. I'm convinced of us being able to find to reach an agreement between the parties. The district court is prepared for that if you consider it better, either now or later on. I mean today. We have an ad hoc mediation services available for the parties here as well. Sometimes it's better.
Tai sanotaan näin päin, että minä oikeudenkäynnin puheenjohtajana en voi käydä teidän kanssanne sellaisia keskusteluja, joita sovittelijat käydä.
So I cannot be the kind of mediator here because I'm the chairman of the board of judges. So a mediator could be involved in some kind of mediation process that might be helpful for you. They would be available for you within a half an hour's notice. So this is one possibility for that you also have. So I would recommend this warmly, this mediation, ad hoc mediation process, if you are willing to be engaged in something like that.
Mutta Erkki Pasanen, se oli käsillä.
So you raised your hand as to the mediation. We had an offer taken in on the 31st of March, and we accepted it, but then it was on the 13th of April that the tenant, E.F. Fluff, answered that he would not accept the mediation process. That they would not accept the mediation process. Is it correct that you did? Yeah. That the court offered the mediation process for them, and they accepted that you didn't.
Yeah, I refuse.
Yes.
Kiitos puheenjohtaja. Voisin ensinnäkin ei ole tarvittu syytellä täällä.
So there is no reason to accuse each other here. It's your myself, I have been doing the mediators work here as well, but you know, myself, I cannot be the mediator for these proceedings here right now, since I have worked here right now for this case as a judge. So this is our rules.
Joo, ja kyllähän sovinto on aina niin kuin ensisijainen. Mutta mä aloitan kertomalla vähän tästä tilanteesta, erityisesti siksi, että vastapuolella ei ole lakimiestä. Elikkä vuokrasopimuksen voimassaolo ei edellytä kirjallista sopimusta. Tässä tämä tilanne on se, että on ollut tämä määräaikainen sopimus ja se on päättynyt. Tämän jälkeen he on aloittaneet uuden sopimuksen. Ja kun kirjallisesti ei ole toisin sovittu, niin lain mukaan uusi sopimus on tällöin toistaiseksi voimassaoleva. Sen jälkeen he on halunneet perua tämän sopimuksen, mistä ikinä syystä. Meillä on erinäisiä syitä ja voidaan pohtia niitä myöhemmin, mutta
and so as to the contract law, so the notice for rental agreements which extend over 1 year, the period of notice is half a year for all of those. So there is no provision that forces the parties to take a written tenancy agreement between themselves. But it's important, in order the agreement to be valid, is that money is provided. So this is the moment from which the agreement, the tenancy agreement, is valid between the parties, when once the money has been taken in. So what is undisputed here is that the plaintiff knows here that it's about the plaintiff's apartment and his agreement that he has engaged himself with. And so it's obvious that on those bases the tenancy agreement would continue. So the place is to be messed up, you know, it's like the normal. No, there was no grounds of bad cleaning, you know, expressed as grounds for eviction. So, although they have been mentioned there are facts that or things that are being mentioned, but is it like originally? I just wanted to verify that you have notified the district court that the temporary tenancy agreement took end on the 31st of August 2022. That's what you informed us. Is that okay? That's the first. Yeah, and then you continued with an oral agreement. Yeah, that's something else. Yeah. And when I was signing the bill of indictment, this was so is that this temporary tenancy agreement reached the end on the 31st of August 2022. And and something that is linked to this situation is that okay, we'll get back there later on. But it's that we are now discussing whether there is an agreement, a tenancy agreement between the parties. Now that's the issue that we are discussing. The first tenancy agreement between the parties, the length of it was of 1 year. So whatever took more than this 1 year, this first temporary period of 1 year, is that because you refer to the first thing that one needs to receive money in order to the oral agreement to be valid. So I can read this email message that EF Fluff has sent me on the 19th of October 2022, I suppose. So this is I'm here in the middle of it. So could you please repeat when does this tenancy agreement start? So it started on the 1st of February 2022. Yes, this is the first day of your tenancy agreement, the first tenancy agreement. And then there were there is the condition of receiving money, in order that the oral tenancy agreement to be valid. The money arrived, so I will read this in English so everyone will follow.
3,120 euros. It arrived the other night. I received. I have immediately sent it to you, onto you. Ja sitten tässä on muuta. But there is your arrears plus 2 months, September, October, November, December. I would never have seen you short.
Eli 3120. What's your opinion? We don't go more into details. Sorry. No, because he was explaining this letter, and he told that it's not necessary to translate it for them. But he tells that they don't mention the rents or the arrears. They talk about the damage. They talk about the damage caused. Receiving this is for
Tehän laitoitte itse sitten viesti hänelle, että vuokra on saapunut. Te olette itse laittanut viestin, your deposit and rent have arrived.
So we have this email as proof here, as exhibit here for the records. Before that you said several times.
Elikkä 28. tammikuuta
Se on alkuperäisen vuokran 22. tammikuuta 22.
28. tammikuuta.
Niin, 22.
She's talking about the 28th of
Is
January.
this 22 or 23 year?
Se on
Where?
nyt aikaisen.
Is it for
Oh,
short?
that's for the. That's, sorry, the 28th of January was the beginning. The original founding agreement was made on the 27th of January 2022, and the Passanens were paid subsequent to that phone call on the 28th.
Yes, but is
And
this year or last
That's
year?
last year.
Ah, okay. So
And then no contract was signed until I think the 31st of So they accepted money, and they accepted an informal spoken contract.
Ah, okay, yes. The meaning of this, tämän tarkoitus on se, että te olette aiemminkin ottanut rahaa samalla tavalla vastaan kuin mitä te sitten otitte myöhemmin, kun te myöhemmin väititte, että se ei ole vuokraa.
Joo,
Tämä oli vakuus, minkä hän väitti.
se oli vakuus.
Vuokravakuus, siis vuokravakuus, ei vuokravakuus, vaan vakuus. Sehän maksetaan, että saa avaimet ja... Niin, se oli se, mikä on silloin tammikuussa.
Joo, mutta mä tarkoitan, että te olette tällä tavalla, mä aiemminkin ottanut rahaa, niin se ei ole ollut mitenkään, että sit kun te olette myöhemmin väittänyt oikeudelle, että tää on ollut täysin tullut jostain hämärästä sähköpostiosoitteesta tää raha.
Ei, mutta tästä rahasta on se hämärä.
Ei vaan, että se on samalla lailla lähetetty.
Ei ollut, se on hänen nimellään.
So it was on his name.
Se alkuperäinen oli hänen
their name.
jostakin
And then
paikasta, josta me emme tiedä, mistä se on tullut. Se on tullut hänelle.
Hän laittoi heti perään sähköpostiviestin, missä hän kertoi, että se on hänen rahansa.
Joo, se on kyllä hänen rahansa, mutta hän ei mainitse, että se on vuokraa. Keep it for your trouble and the trouble I caused.
The trouble I caused. And so it's the general.
Do you want me to respond to that?
Okay.
Want me to respond to that? Yeah, you know what?
No, talk to me.
I have post-traumatic stress disorder, buddy. Yeah? I'm just going to say this really clearly, because you've said it in correspondence to human rights journalists. So you have literally stated you were aware of my situation. You say it to Orla Barrett, Binsi Guam, Porchista Kapoor. You said it to Anna. You said it to Paul. So you're aware that I'm dealing with stuff elsewhere that's a struggle.
Eli selvästi sanon, että tässä on
So the trouble I've caused is...
Eli ihmisoikeuksien loukkaamiset, te tiesitte, selvästi sanoitte niin, että tiesitte tilanteesta. Niin,
I would like to know why you're referring to an email that you've told the court in official correspondence doesn't exist. So you've essentially lied to the court. That's 3 years in prison.
Miksi viittaatte sellaiseen sähköpostiin, jota ei edes virallisesti ole olemassa? Se tarkoittaa teille 3 vuotta vankeutta väärästä vallasta.
Siitä ei varmaan...
Ei tuo ollut se vaan, että
No,
he...
that's not the point.
Ei vaan, että he on
They are,
sanoneet...
they have
Wait, what was it?
He was asking the trouble I caused. He can't read it, so he's
But is this email that you sent?
Yes,
Yes.
but that was a notification that he said they never got. So they told the court in the official court response, they said that the email they got. What did they say? They said we received 3,120 euros from an unnamed account with no notification. So we didn't have any notification of it, so we took it as compensation.
Okay, so now I can say niin, eli kyse oli siitä, että te sanoitte oikeudelle, että te saitte rahaa tuntemattomasta osoitteesta, ettekä mitään ilmoitusta siitä, että keneltä se on. Mutta nyt te kuitenkin sanotte, että te saitte häneltä ilmoituksen, että se raha oli häneltä, että se oli teille.
the money was directed to you and it came from them.
Se ei ollut vuokraa, vaan se oli
Money coming from
siitä
you
asunnon
and
hallussapidosta.
Yleensä kun tulee rahaa, niin siinä sanotaan, että kuka lähettää. Siihen voi panna sitten myös viestiä, mikä se on. Siinähän on mitään. Se on niin PayPalin
It's about this payment. So we cannot get any further with this.
They were fighting everything.
Yeah. So before, that was on the 17th of October, I have asked him to return the keys because he was in Ireland. They were in Ireland on the 17th, and he asked you to return the keys. So you were not in Finland, and in the summer you had left for Ireland, and so it's impossible to sign a tenancy agreement when the tenant is not present. It's not in Finland. So this is why on the 17th of October we asked him to return the keys. And then we didn't have any rental agreement, any tenancy agreement with them. So it was the end of our cooperation when we asked them to return the keys on the 17th of October. She raised interview.
Siinä se nyt pyörii se.
We are coming around this theme.
Yeah. Vuokrasopimuksen syntyminen ei edellytä sen vuokrasopimuksen allekirjoittamista, että tämä sopimus oli syntynyt jo niillä viesteillä, ja vaikka
there needs to be a document to be signed in order an agreement to be valid. So this agreement was created already when you two agreed to do so. I can understand that you at that moment you wanted to cancel this agreement, but this is not good enough a reason for that, and that it's like 3 to 6 months with a 3 to 6 months notice that you can evict someone and terminate the person's tenancy agreement. So this is not the way to do it.
We cannot sign a new contract with you as long as you cannot pay your rent. Eli siinä on syy, miksi me emme halua sitä vuokrasopimusta allekirjoittaa.
And this is the reason why we don't want to sign this tenancy agreement, because this person has not been able to pay the rents.
Tässä valitsee. Tässä on oikeudellinen kysymys, josta
So we have a legal issue here, and
kysymykseni on se, että
so the legal dilemma here to me is that whether you have any ideas on both sides, how we could proceed, from onwards from this situation, not to be stuck to this. As to the eventual existence of a tenancy agreement, so we could dismiss the whole thing and then move to the next thing, which is that the tenant has not paid rents and for the period of the beginning of, starting from the beginning of this year. So you need to speak so that we can hear well, because I don't hear well what you are saying, so that I could draw conclusions of your words.
So they're being incoherent.
Yeah. She didn't say exactly the word incoherent, because that's epäjohdonmukaisuus in Finnish. More or less the same. Yeah. Yeah. So we are turning around like with this vicious circle here, and turning around what goes around comes around. This is more or less like this, and we have we can consider this from outside the box, so to speak. Thank you, Your Honor. The tenant, the defendant and tenant here has not been able to pay the rents. It's not up to him. It's because he has not been compensated by Kela, the Finnish Social Security Agency, and so it's no grounds for evicting or terminating a tenancy agreement when it's not the tenant who is at fault here. So the landlord is not entitled to have access to the flat of the tenant, without the tenant's permission, and it's intrusion into someone's privacy if you are doing such a deed. I mean, accessing to someone's apartment without the person's permission, and so it's intrusion into someone's privacy when the landlord gets into the tenant's property, the tenant's flat. This you have no proofs of this. This is not incorrect. Yeah, it's incorrect for him, and then it's also illegal. It's illegal also this procedure that the landlord has applied here is also illegal on these grounds. So I have one side dispute here, so ancillary dispute here. So the tenant got there. We didn't prevent him from. We didn't prevent them from getting there. So we are going round and around the same thing. So I'm just thinking here, what could be the best way for the both parties to proceed? One question. What about the arrears? Is it good enough a ground for eviction? So are the arrears good enough a grounds for eviction, to evict a tenant? No, if it's up to the landlord, if the landlord is at default here, why the tenant could not pay the rents? Is the landlord liable to the tenant to be able to pay for the rent and his capacity? Financial capacity. I don't give any answers here because I need to solve this issue later on. So. Yeah, of course. So it's important that we must discuss this with a judge who has worked as mediator in this type of questions. Thank you, Your Honor. So, in addition to this, if we are to go to a mediation procedure, I'm not very sure if there is a criminal report to the police on this basis. Maybe there are so many, it's quite emotional, on both sides.
Niin
And,
tässä on niin yksi oleellinen asia
and there is
se,
one essential
vastaaja
fact,
kokee, että,
one essential element here.
että niin syy, miksi häntä ei enää haluta sinne
Defendant is not wanted there is linked to the person's personality, a discriminatory reason why the landlord does not want them as a tenant for their apartment. And this is when I was discussing this theme, is that we ask for their opinion. Just a moment.
Niin hän sanoi,
he told
että
that
äänen siellä, että kun hän toinen heistä kysyi, että maksaako Kela, eihän Kela maksa koko vuokraa, sitten mä sanoin, että kyllä Kela maksaa koko vuokran,
yes, Kela will cover the whole rent, and so we are not liable for this, they said. And so if we ask this, I ask the opinion of the Commission for Equality Issues. And so this is there is grounds for discriminatory basis for on his side. Just a moment.
And he has also said that repeatedly, under no circumstances, will he accept Kela, and that I have no right to.
Just a moment. Just a moment. My fingers are not moving quick enough, to make. Yeah.
I'm so sorry you have to waste your day with this.
No, no. No.
Mulla on jotain tärkeää tietoa äskeiseen lisättäväksi.
I have something important
Sen
to tell in addition to this.
Nyt repäsin auki tämän lisäpeilin siihen, että sanoitte siitä, että Irlannin poliisi olisi soittanut teille ja että hänellä olisi jotain selvittämätöntä lakiasiaa Irlannissa
would
ja
have
että me ei haluta tällaista
contacted you and that there would be some conflictuous issues in Ireland against the tenant and that there is, and you don't want to have a criminal cook to be your tenant, in other words. So this is something totally discriminatory. The landlord can decide. Of course, the landlord can decide whom to take as tenant. Yeah. But this is still told that this is still discriminatory when you invoke those type of grounds. For not wanting to have somebody as tenant. So when we were visiting the premises, when we were there, they were nowhere around when they were visiting the premises, and also about the electricity bill, like they cut out the electricity for the apartment. When we visited the premises, and some rotten food in the fridge because there was no electricity, and the cleaning status left to be, and that was just at the end of March, and when the tenant arrived. The tenant had understood that there would be electricity.
Exactly what date was could you tell him, ask him to say exactly what date he was in the apartment? What date? Because he's lying again.
So you were in touch, if I got it right, you were in touch before this district court trial, you and the landlord.
Kirsi speaking.
No, she's just, she understands that you have been in contact before the trial. It is just because for her it's important, if we think about the eventual mediation or trying to reach an agreement, that someday we would have an agreement and to be able to move forward.
Ja nämä rikokset.
To move on and the offenses. I don't know anything about the offenses mentioned here. Some offenses in Ireland that took place in Ireland.
I don't have any record.
No, I meant the violation of the domestic peace.
Allegedly that happened in September, October, but they made an effort to hide the information.
Yeah, because they intruded into your yeah.
But like
Yeah.
Multiple times.
Multiple times
More
even.
than once.
Yeah.
and then
Sanotaan niin, että jos laajempi paletti keskustellaan
If we take extended choice of options, of course we have this all the trials and appeals, etc. But if you have if there is a criminal report to be submitted and to be submitted that hasn't been submitted yet, as to the claims, if you took it to the mediation process, you would have better chances of discuss this all. To me it would be more useful for the both of you. So as to what are the goals on both sides. So of course it's very good to have this conversation here and to be able to. I just wanted to know why Fluff didn't want this mediation. We don't need to get there now. He asked why he would like to know why Fluff didn't want to have this mediation when it was once some time ago proposed to him. She tries to present all the advantages of this mediation process for the both parties, because when of course there are certain restrictions to solve the matter, when we are taking it to the court. In comparison with dealing with this in a mediation process.
What is the restrictions?
Yeah.
What does she mean by the restrictions?
Eli hän haluaa kuulla niistä rajoitteista, että mitä rajoitteita siinä, jos asia ratkaistaan niin kuin oikeudenkäynnissä sen sijaan, että vietä siihen neuvotteluun.
ei vaan, että siellä ei pystytä niinku sopimaan tällä.
Because they cannot agree.
We can't discuss in the oikeudenkäynti.
In the court trial, one cannot really discuss because it's a well-structured session, and then the hearing has certain rules of procedure, and you need to comply with the rules of procedure, and sometimes it might be harmful.
Her Honor, if she would like me to directly answer that.
Haluaisiko tämä tuomari, että hän vastaa suoraan siihen, että onko hän halukas tähän neuvotteluun? Here we are trying to convince you of moving, considering thoroughly, you on both sides with the other party, to proceed to the mediation process. So we still have a few hours left for today, so it would be really useful for you to use up all the chances offered by the district court to you, to deal with this case. But I'd like to ask whether the plaintiffs views are still the same. Are you ready for, we already are here in court, so are you, would you still be interested in this mediation process? We have a suggestion. So we have a proposal for an agreement. Yeah, of course, I will receive it. I'd like to receive it. But is everything meant for my ears here? What you are discussing, or maybe that's your opinion, or should maybe this mediation process, there is a special structure there too for the mediation process, but of course you can discuss this, but if we could solve this this way, I wouldn't prevent it from happening in no ways.
Yes.
There is absolutely no room for mediation.
Elikkä sille sovittelumenettelylle ei ole tilaa.
Multiple attempts were made to mediate with these people. They were offered to 5 people, human rights journalists. They were offered a lot.
Yes.
There is
Yeah,
no.
you don't need to. If you just don't want that, it's okay. I'll just notify you.
With my deepest apologies to the court, I'm very sorry, but that's.
Eli hän pyytää kovasti anteeksi, mutta on yritetty todella tätä neuvottelumenettelyä monin. With the mediator from here, have you tried it from the district court?
Ain't gonna make a difference.
Ei siinä ole mitään eroa siihen.
You can't know, because if the reason is that you are hurt, then maybe it might help.
It
might help if there was a judge.
With the deepest apologies, I'll throw myself at the mercy of the honourable court. Because these people have shown themselves to be relentlessly belligerent. They have forgone over €10,000 renovation of a kitchen, everything, nothing. So I am.
Elikkä olen kovasti pahoillani. Olen kovasti pahoillani siitä, mutta en todellakaan voi hyväksyä sitä neuvottelumenettelyä, koska nämä ihmiset ovat hyvin sotaisia luonteeltaan ja se neuvottelumenettely ei johtaisi, sillä ei ole mahdollisuuksia onnistua.
And with the deepest request.
Olen erittäin pahoillani
with the deepest respect, I don't think they should keep being given chances to waste people's time.
Elikkä en millään tavoin yritä niinku estää antamasta teille mahdollisuuksia siihen, mutta tiedän, että se ei ole onnistunut. Ja aikaisemmin tässä hän selitti just, että ihmisoikeustoimittajien ja monien muiden tällaisen välittäjähenkilöiden kanssa on yritetty rakentaa sovintoa. Joo, okei, no ei.
Annetaan Koivuniemen jatkaa tuohon miehen.
Okay.
Kiitos puheenjohtaja.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Oletteko te puhunut tästä fluffista ulkopuolisten ja eri ihmisten kanssa?
Fluff with other people,
Meille on soitettu.
Someone phoned us and asked about these things. And they wanted, they have tried to make us sign the tenancy agreement. There were 4 different parties that tried to make us sign the tenancy agreement with EF Fluff. So there were outsiders, complete outsiders, who contacted us, through his email. So they were, their friends of EF Fluff, but complete outsiders from our point of view. There was this group of these reporters, these journalists who contacted us through email, in order to force us to sign the tenancy agreement with him, and there was a message and there were all the good things about it. Erkki, the landlord, wished all the good things for the tenant. Can I please read one message? Because this is not, we are having a preliminary hearing here, so we do not receive witness testimonies here. So this is why, this is not because the trial, the district court trial has its own rules. Sorry, because I'm raising my voice at the same time. Okay, I try to do it as low as possible, Yeah, I try to be soft-spoken. Okay, let's get backwards a little bit. So I will inform, if I got it right, we had the mediator who was there, as a reserve, so to speak, so we can liberate that mediator, to work with us.
It would be only different that like she would go away and the other one would come back. It would be the only difference.
They're not wasting any more of my time.
Please read this one.
That's December 8th after.
December what?
That's December 7th.
Mm-hmm.
This is
7th, on the 7th of
this
December?
is before I realized what sort of criminality they were doing. And I'm losing my patience with this pantomime, right? I'm losing my patience with this pantomime, right? So they'd already gained entrance, right? They lied. They deliberately tried to conceal the information on the photos. I know from the photos and my entrance into the thing, they've been in the apartment multiple times. They accepted the money. They've actually lied to the court now and withheld the payment on the 23rd of August.
I think for this the mediator would be really good because she would explain to them what this is about,
Have they not read the? Could you ask them?
Yeah, but they don't understand. But because the judge can't say to them that he feels you did this, but the mediator can. So that's why I think the mediator would be better here.
If that pleases the court, that the honourable judge thinks that another party could explain exactly how much trouble they're in.
Yes.
Then I will agree to that.
Yes, should we try? Could we just try maybe for like 10 minutes? If it's really bad, then.
Sure.
Okay, we'll recess for 10 minutes. If I got it right, if I heard it right, for the both parties, I would like to offer you the opportunity that another district court judge who is not responsible for solving the case, so the other judge would come here in the quality of mediator, and then she could discuss with you in this way. And as a mediator, she would have the opportunity, and she would grasp the opportunity to discuss with the both parties, like focusing with the both of you, and those are the kind of elements that I'm not entitled to use. So because I cannot do focusing with separating the.
I misunderstood, so I apologize to the Honourable Court. If it allows them to understand, then I will. But It's not
Eli
really
jos se mahdollistaa heitä ymmärtämään asiaa ja saavuttamaan sovinnon, niin hyväksyn sen jo.
Mä sanoisin, että kun me täällä olemme,
Since we are here, you know, it's worth it to grasp the opportunity for mediation. So you are not going to lose anything with it. And we still have a few hours of the day available for us. To EF-LAF, I just wanted to tell that, you know, it's really worth it to go through the mediation process, because, you know, I will stay here, you know, I'm not leaving anywhere, so I will stay here in this house for the whole day, so available for you.
It's better, I think.
Kiitos, Pajan.
Yes, it's better because we also want them to understand what you think, you know. That's what we want.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, they lied. It is a crime to lie in court, right? So.
Hän on levittänyt asiaa. Hän on lähettänyt kaikenlaisia.
It would be better, you know, because then there would be someone with a legal background, you know, to try to solve this, settle this issue. Let's discuss still, you know. I got from one very experienced mediator her answer that within half an hour she would be here and help you. Now it's 11 o'clock. Would you like to have, you know, it's a kind of an early brunch or lunch or whatever, you know, we could recess for half an hour, like let's wait a little bit, you know. I will just write a brief message.
Ask them why, when the court asked them to provide stuff, they ignored the court, and now we're trying to provide. That's a curiosity for me. Like they had the chance.
Like they didn't, do you think that they didn't deliver anything to the court?
The Honorable Judge sent them 4 points. Facts, proof, evidence. Number 2, provide evidence, say what the evidence is, say how it supports the grounds. They responded to that with C number 3. They didn't find
she's connected, so she must reply within a few minutes.
I think as early as late November, the previous year, Erkki was informed by a property expert that there was a legal enforceable contract and decided to ignore it.
What? Say
He
again.
was informed by a property expert in Holland, speaking for me in my defense, that there was a legal contract that could review Finnish law.
Yes,
What?
I got.
It was a legal contract.
It was a legal contract.
So I got Camilla Kohonen will join us. We could start at 12 o'clock at noon. So the mediation process will start at noon. We could recess now to have lunch. You know, it would be worth it. Goodbye. Yeah. Just one question. This is a new chance, you know, for mediation. You know that we are in different situations already. You know, like the trial having started, that the parties are given this opportunity. Also, that you know that the person has not prepared this case beforehand. do I have your permission, for the summary? Would you wish me to introduce your case, the situation where you are, or would you like me to explain things like make a summary for the proceedings by now between the parties, or would you like her to start fresh, like without any preparation?
I think it's better if she makes the short stuff.
Yes.
Just like in the bill of indictment, in the summons, it was mentioned like this and this and this, and she could prepare a little bit, So there is the conflictual issue, when we are, like turning around it, and that she can better grasp it, So we when we go to the mediation, so there is a new angle of view. If one question. Is the landlord liable for the tenant's capacity to pay for his rents or their rents? No, it's just legal issues. We can take up legal issues there at the mediation, of course. We have 55 minutes. She could be ready already 11:45. So, is it okay with you?
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, okay.
I'm gonna go now and I'm gonna eat something because I came with the train.
And then, as a matter of fact,
I also rushed.
I will.
Okay. Are you going to be downstairs?
Yeah, I'm gonna go to the
Just something. I'll correct something. I'll get back to what I said before. Is that for the mediation process? It's not a trial, so you can stick to the same floor. We are on the 5th floor, but you are going to be removed from here to another room, which is more comfortable. Yeah. Okay. So, the mediator just asked us to tell that there is going to be 514 or 515.
Can you just clarify that in Finnish that I'm only agreeing to the mediation so that they are, if the situation is explained to them, there is no agreement coming from it.
Eli hän sanoi, että hän hyväksyy ja suostuu tähän ihan vain sen takia, että päästään tässä asiassa eteenpäin, mutta että ei sitoudu mihinkään niin kuin sopimukseen. No, hän sanoi, että on todella pahoillaan tästä tilanteesta. It's a good situation. You have all the chances possible, And I will let you get to the mediation room. The mediation should take over. The mediator should take over from here on. No, don't worry. She's used to it. Oh. She's seen it all. I can show you the place. So you can have a show. You can visit thereafter. So 514. So I will show it to you. So right now we audio with me. Yeah.
Ja okay. Minä olen taas puolestani koneen äärellä
to my computer and
sitten pitää minua
the mediator will inform me how to start proceedings.
Huoneet on nyt tuolla. Ikään kuin kulmatilana. Mä luulen, että se voi saada sitten.
Kiitos.
I can keep
like what they are, like they don't know what they don't know, you know, they don't know what they have done.
I can keep
Yeah,
your
but like for example, he doesn't know that they don't understand so much about like one person, you know, because it wouldn't hurt them, you know, because they are living fully like this, a different way of living, you know. Yeah, the cops are also like that. Like they are very like strict, like not evil, but yeah.
They have tortured for like some almost you were very calming.
yeah.
I nearly walked out of there about 3 times. I'm not enjoying it, not being able to speak, but at the same time it's completely not. Like even they're trying to withhold lying by omission with lying to the court at the 23rd of August. The payment of the 23rd of August payment, which was the advance payment of the certificate contract, we accepted all the communications to that.
Yeah, and it's logical, you know. I'm not to say, I'm not a lawyer or anything, you know. But you know, in case that you know the oral agreement to be valid, you know, you need to. So you have submitted an amount of money for that. So it's there is in case that there is a proof for that. So it's okay. So why would you pay for for whatever? So
And again, it's a lie, because it's sort of like, not only did you get me the first time, when I asked them to send like digital, I needed to prove it. So it's a further email where he goes, here's the contract again. It's 2 words. It's not just 2 words, it's just 1 word. When I sold the apartment in Dublin, he got paid a lump sum every year.
Yeah, and to me, and to me it's really nasty, the money from Pihla, the Finnish Social Security Agency, you don't get the money, because for the dwelling allocations, they need, for all of these allowances, they need a proof, and if the landlord doesn't submit the proof, so they are at fault. They are at fault.
Okay, let's go.
Okay, but I'll put your notebook and
You're coming to mediation, right? You're going to be the one in mediation.
Are you coming to the cafeteria?
Yeah, okay, listen,
you don't have to do it, but I was just saying that I need to just I came here at 7.
Yes, you are very hungry.
like it's not a crime, and then everybody like it's like obviously it's a crime, but like they don't realize it themselves.
Yeah.
So like people just think like they know.
Yeah.
It's not an excuse, but I mean.
It's like
I've
talking
seen
to the
people
police.
that think differently.
Yeah. Like talking to the police officer, you know, you should be aware of what or not sense of what's not, you know, kind of. Yeah.
So, I mean, aside from the own neighborhood, some people have done that. I mean, I think at the point that someone gets contacted with human rights, they realize they might be on the wrong.
But why did they come down? No, he asked why you, because you told us that you got this case 2 days ago. You know, he asked that she got, because she's replacing someone else, the kind of attorney that was assigned to you before. And now she got this case like 2 days ago, and now she wants to talk about that. She must be asking anything.
Ollaan niin varmoja, että me ollaan oikeassa näistä asioista.
Tiedätkö mitä se on aika usein, kun kaikki puolet luulee sillä lailla.
Joo. Ja sitten se että niinku, minusta tässä keskustellaan tästä äänestä.
I can offer you
tarkoitus keskustella mistään muista asioista, niin kuin relevanttia tähän asiaan. Tavallaan koitetaan taakkaa laittaa.
Se ei ole mun tarkoitus, mutta odotetaan seuraavaksi me mennään tonne sovitteluun, niin siellä on vähän niinku lastenvahti kattoo, kun sitten se puhe on sillä että
valheita kaikenlaisia esille, mitä hän on suoltanut.
hän kokee samaa teidän puolelta. Mut mä menen.
If you don't find anything better, you know, as an excuse, please tell the truth. That's the truth. No, but it's, now, because you don't know if it's going to be a long day, you know. Yeah, because I should offer you this case alone. Yeah, please,
I mean, like I'm having my lunch break. Like he shouldn't be talking to me.
Yeah, he shouldn't be. You know, you could complain. You know, it's contempt. Contempt of court. Yeah. Yeah.
What do you want to ask?
Please.
I want
Because I told him that I could.
Let's think about it.
Yeah, I could pay for his lunch if he's. I can do it. No. Because you are going to be really hungry at the end. Because this is going to be a very long day. You can't take it without eating. You should eat something. Do you in such a case, because I did some. Okay, I'll give you that something. Okay, Okay, let's do it this way. If you
There's
don't,
no food happening, don't worry.
no, take this at least. Yeah, of course. Yes. Yes, you need to take it.
Joo, on.